Welcome and welcome to the HellaBlack Business Happy Hour. Yay! We have a special guest this evening and she's amazing. We love her. We've been working with Precious since last summer and we are just elated to have her join us this evening to share some gems and to just give us some tips. We are all budding entrepreneurs and we have all the questions and we want to ask the experts. So before we get started, there are a few housekeeping items that we want to keep in mind. We want to make sure that everyone keeps themselves on mute. Put all your questions in the chat box and let's just learn from the expert, our guest of honor. But let me just tell you a little bit about HellaBlack. I see some of our sellers on the line, and that's really exciting for us to, one, thank you for being a part of our family and the partnership of HellaBlack. And just you joining this happy hour shows that you are looking to grow and you're looking to flourish as an entrepreneur and you're being resourceful. And we are providing that content. We are providing these experts as promised. And we are committed to scaling and growing your business. So a little bit about HellaBlack. Our mission is very simple. We want to promote and elevate our stories behind the Black business owner, their brands, and celebrate creativity and excellence of the African-American community. HellaBlack is committed to providing the best-in-class e-commerce experience with the most sought-after Black-owned brand products. HellaBlack wants to tell your story of a Black entrepreneur living out their dreams. HellaBlack wants to repackage your story in a way that's authentic, navigate the digital space with maximum effectiveness, and optimize your business strategy to increase your reach and grow. It's just about celebrating Black businesses and catering to the market that has been long underserved. So we are about empowering our Black entrepreneur. So now let's get into it. Precious Williams, a 13-time national elevator pitch champion. She's also been featured on the Shark Tank, CNN, Wall Street Journal, Forbes magazine, Black Enterprise, Essence magazine, the movie Leap, and her current clients include Microsoft, LinkedIn, Google, eBay, and more. She's had a 26-year career as an international professional speaker, and she is booked and busy as a corporate trainer. So let's just get started. Precious, we love you. We've been talking about you for years now, and we know you have a compelling story. And as an entrepreneur, we know the art of marketing stems from your story and being authentic and telling us what makes you you. So I just want to pass it on to you, introduce yourself briefly, tell us about yourself and kind of describe your entrepreneur journey and how you got to where you are today.
Oh, it was a great question. So hey, everybody, my name is Precious Williams. I'm the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. And I literally teach women how to be bad bitches with power pitches. I know that might be a little hard for some people, but let me tell you something. When you are an entrepreneur, you're not meant for everyone. So you have to find the tribe that truly fits your vibe. I work with women, especially successful entrepreneurs and speakers who are literally ready to break out of the box that society has put them in or what they put themselves in, right? And so when I started way back when, I've been a professional speaker since I was 16 years old, and I am proud to say I'm 42 years old this year. So to be doing this 26 years is amazing. When I started speaking, I was 16 years old. I grew up with parents who did not want me. And that was obvious in everything that they said to me every day of my life. I wish you were never born. You know, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're never going to be anything, you're book smart, but your sister's going to marry well, you're never going to have friends. And to grow up hearing that every day, I'm so surprised that even when I was 5 years old, I knew I was going to be destined for something big. I don't know if it's because I watched Sally Jesse Raphael. I know these names probably don't mean much to the younger people.
Oh, we know Sally.
Sally. But I remember being 5 years old and drawing stick figures, and I was talking to him. I was going ham and cheese on him. They were like, yes. And the reason why my personality is like this now, because I spent too many years holding back who I was and fitting into a box and being the attorney and wearing this and that and New York Junior League and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just ready to be me now, right? And so you know, growing up, always being told I'd never amount to anything, started to take its toll. And by 15 years old, I wanted to take my own life. However, my grandmother, Precious Williams, and my grandfather, Raymond Williams, they brought me into their home. And even though we were in the hood, they treated me like Leave It to Beaver lifestyle. I never worried about where my food was coming from because my grandmother cooked for me every day. My bath water was drawn every day. Yes, because I grew up taking baths. And my grandmother would make me do affirmations. And she said, when you speak, people listen. I'm looking at her like, I'm not gonna say nothing, but I don't believe you. And she said, Oprah's gonna know your name. Word? She's like, I'm here to tell you. She said, your life is so much bigger. You just don't know it yet. When I was 16 years old, the principal of my high school asked me to speak at an event. Didn't tell me it was before the mayor of the city of St. Louis. My English teacher wrote my speech. I didn't read it beforehand and just went in and it just killed the game. And everyone who was older was on their feet. And my grandma was sitting here like this. I thought I told you. The next thing I know was speaking before the governor of Missouri. Next thing I knew, I was being paid to go all over the state of Missouri, speaking scholarship fundraisers at educational task force and things like that. And for the girl I was told I was ugly, stupid, or whatever, in my high school, I was voted the queen for the entire year of 1996, 1997. For someone who's perceived as really stupid, I was a valedictorian of the class of 1997, the battalion commander for the junior ROTC program. And I wanted to go to Spelman College because I saw it on Oprah. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I saw it on Oprah. Didn't know. So silly. We didn't even know it was in Atlanta. That's how crazy it was, right? And there were these 4 beautiful Black queens, and I wanted to be like that. I really did. I said I want to be poised or whatever. I'm gonna look like them when I grow up. Didn't know it was in Atlanta. Finally, by the time I figured it out, it was long distance to call. That's how old this story is. And I got the bulletin. And I slept with it underneath my pillow, and I imagined being in Atlanta, and my guidance counselors refused to write the application part. And I was like, I knew I was supposed to be there. I knew. So finally, I sent in my application on my birthday, January 22nd, 1997. I called, followed up, did my thuggism, and they were tired of hearing my voice, and they were like, Precious, wait, okay. Came home one day and I heard my granddad crying because my granddad is one of them stoic brothers from way back. And I heard him crying, and I'm walking to the kitchen like, if I heard the word Precious Latanya Williams, I know it's a problem. He told me, sit down, Queen V. Okay, well, maybe. And I saw all these papers on the table. He said, here. And I looked at the letter, and it was from Dr. Janetta B. Cole, who was president at the time. And it said, congratulations. And I'm like, everybody said I couldn't do it. There was no money on the table, but we ain't gonna address that issue.
We make it work.
But just getting in, and we all cried. And my grandparents were like, we can't afford it. And I was like, don't worry, I applied for scholarships. And I was on that typewriter, y'all know, back in the day. And when I started calling places and said, I got into Spelman College, they were like, make it rain like snow. Where the money reside? And we used to put things on a refrigerator. And when I got to $88,000, so Spelman at that time was $18,000. Ain't nowhere near that today.
No.
When we crossed 88,000, it was done deal. One of the places called me like, what you mean Spelman and give you no money? You're like, what's the number? Gave it up. Spelman called, oh, upon further reflection, we'd like to offer you a full scholarship. Word. And say, when I tell y'all pitching for profit, who's in your network? Who can make decisions like that? Who can call? If you don't give her any money, we ain't gonna give your school no money. Can we keep it a buck? I didn't know that people would move like that on my behalf. So went to Spelman, got out in 4 years. Was the first recipient of the Bill and Melinda Gates Scholarship. So that was great. Went off to Georgetown University Law Center on a full scholarship. Got kicked out in 2002, 19 years ago. And started over at Rutgers School of Law in 2003. Had a nervous breakdown in 2004. I was like, maybe I'm not really supposed to get through this college, this law school experience. Had a nervous breakdown, was out for 3 months in a psych ward at Newark Beth Israel Hospital, came back and took it moment by moment, not day by day, not hour by hour, but literally moment by moment. Before I looked up, I was in my last semester. I was the #1 student attorney in my class and finished on December 15, 2006. To the February 2007 New York State Bar, passed on my first try with a 44.3% passage rate overall, everyone who took it. So most people failed that, and I passed. And I'm still Black, y'all, on both sides. Still black on both sides. I worked at Sullivan and Cromwell. I clerked for a federal judge in the Southern District. I was a medical malpractice, products liability, and toxic torts attorney. All of it sounds boring because that's exactly what it was. And the thought of doing that forever bothered me. I said, I'm not doing this for 40 years. I'm not. Left my ex-fiance who had been with me through thick and thin, but he tripped out, so I had to let him go like Shark Tank. I'm out. Not realizing that was a turning point in my life. So on March 15, 2010, I left him. By June, I met a very famous Hollywood actor, and he totally changed my life. I didn't see beauty in myself. I didn't see anything, but he saw something. And I was a bigger girl. I was 327 pounds, and I couldn't find anything in my size. So I created a company called Curvy Girls Lingerie. None of my family, friends, nobody believed in me. They said I was too fat, too black, no Ivy League degree. Okay. But I still believed. And I quit my job. I believed, and I had negative $40 in my bank account. I went to an event I couldn't afford, pitched to the producers of MSNBC. First pitch got me on national television. My second pitch on national television, I walked away with $500,000 after 54 seconds of pitching.
Wow.
And I look back, like, I remember when they came pick me up in a Cadillac Escalade, took me to Rockefeller Center. My girl was supposed to do my makeup. She didn't show up because she didn't believe. Again, too fat, too black, and no Ivy League degree. But when I walked away with that money, and I walked away, I entered 14 pitch competitions and won 13 out of 14 against Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Columbia grad school, tech companies, and international companies. And started Perfect Pitches by Precious, because y'all know I don't come to this try to be boring. I'm coming in this like, I'm colorful, let's do this. And that led to Shark Tank, CNN, Wall Street Journal, all of these amazing things. And my Shark Tank experience was amazing. I'd already had clients that appeared on Shark Tank and had been funded. And, when my time came, at a private audition, did my Thug Thizzle, flew out on September 11, 2016, filmed on September 15, 2016. They came and did a home visit in October 2016. So my episode aired on season 8 of Shark Tank. But that was also the beginning of the end. The love of my life died. That actor, he died. My business partner and I got into just a very big battle. I was still filming a movie at the same time with Sir Richard Branson, and Jack Canfield, Soup for the Soul, became a severe alcoholic, lost everything, became homeless, and was homeless from 2017 to 2018. And walked out of homelessness on September 1st, 2018. Walked into this beautiful home in Brooklyn that I stay in. I stayed on the 3rd floor when I first got here. However, just last year, a year ago, I moved into this 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah, I live alone. I live alone.
I do too.
I went from, having no speaking engagements to my first being at Bottomless Closet, helping women in transition, to speaking at Viacom, JGL, Saturday Night Live, In Style magazine, and just took off like a rocket. I had a friend who wrote about me in CNN in 2015, and she said, it's time to write your book. Now I'm thinking, I just walked out of homelessness. Who's going to buy something from me? My first book, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, for women entrepreneurs and speakers only, was a #1 bestseller, Billboard in Times Square, and Forbes magazine reviewed this book. And the article is called Pitching is Bitching. When have they ever had a curse word in the title? 4-time Book of the Year finalist. 4-time. The next year, we had that, what's it? So it's only right that I hit you. Ooh, I think they like me. I love that song. So then, ooh, I think they like me. So we came out with the workbook companion in 2020. And in 2021, we had to set it off nicely. 3 times is a charm. With Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bitches Playbook to convert conversations into currency. So once you get your pitches together, now I'm gonna show you how to get other people to pitch you in places you didn't even know existed. There's no way I should have been in movies. There's no way that I should be speaking at International Women's Day in Halifax, Nova Scotia, or in Milan, Italy, in Australia, or being as booked and as blissful as I am. I came out of homelessness. I've been clean and sober 4.5 years. And to be where I am is all God, right? When those big time people turn their backs on me, I literally wrote this book to get myself and others out of depression and to get into the places they dreamed of. And when all those doors shut and they were like, it'll never open, God was like, oh, you're the female MacGyver business. Remember that. There's a crack. There's a window. Go through it. And when you ask more now, you don't have to later. The red carpet starts getting rolled out for you. And so this book was so important to me because it was the psychology of pitching, not just giving you formulas, but if you don't know whether you're unstoppable, if you're ruled by power, if you're flawed, if you're mysterious, if you're funny, if you are ruled by numbers, you need to know that, because that helps you create the perfect pitch for you, not for everybody else, for you. And so that's why I can write bad bitches and power pitches and stand in it. When people kept trolling me and say, change the title, do this and that, it was like, no, I can get it sold to the government. The government bought this book. Yeah, they did. And all these big time companies that I've named have bought this book. And in fact, if you want to book me, you got to get the books too for attendees. So think about that. I learned a lot in these last 3 years. And so that is my story. I went from despair to destiny. I'm speaking at TEDx this year on October 18th, and the theme is reimagine. And I hope that you all take from my story that your perceived flaws are really your secret weapon, meaning that age, race, class, sex, sexual orientation, differently abled, all the isms that they say is wrong with you, I want you to know it's right. And that you have to use your difference in a major way. I don't walk in pretending to be anybody else. I come in as colorful and as bright as I want to in corporate America, because I don't work for y'all. I'm coming in. And I'm going to be the same way. I don't code switch like I once did. And if my hair is bright red today, it could be honey blonde tomorrow. They don't care, because I actually have the credentials from this morning, not from 2 years ago. My credentials, my clients are winning pitch, speaking and winning pitch competitions. They're getting corporate training contracts and stuff like that. Things I never thought I'd be able to do. So I'm sorry if that took long, but I just wanted to share with you all. I'm as real as they come. And in fact, I'm the pitch coach for a new show called America's Real Deal. And so we're supposed to be in Salt Lake City tomorrow, but with the wildfires, not able to do that. But when I tell you, I went from poverty to speaking my way to success, to pitching my way into greatness. And when you create your own lane, which is what HellaBlack has done, it's not just another place where Black entrepreneurs can just list things. It's really getting you out there in another way. Like just listing, I don't know about y'all, I don't go to places that just list. There has to be a compelling story. Why should somebody buy you? What's so special about you? You know, how can I flex on social media? Let them know I bought your stuff too, and I want to flex. Like, they're different, and you ought to know why they're different. And looking at the first slide you showed with everyone who is a part of it, I was like this. Well, that's different than a one-woman show. Mm-hmm. They're taking a lot of things into consideration. And so I want you all, your perceived flaws are your secret weapon, because they never see you coming. No one saw HellaBlack coming. Mm-hmm. Nobody. And so let's celebrate them today, and let's celebrate the underdogs, because when the underdog wins, it just shows you what Ty Goodwin always says. When you step into your purpose, another woman can step into hers. Yeah, they see it. You, as a trailblazer, I gotta get beat up for another woman to feel. So I hope that answered your question, Quay.
Oh yes, it does. It does. And what came to mind as you were speaking is, where did all this confidence come from?
Girl,
as we step into these rooms, we get a little nervous and imposter syndrome, and we feel like they're not going to believe in us. They're not going to invest in us. So where did your confidence stem from, and how can we reach down and grab that same confidence and take it into our pitches with us?
So I think the first thing is to know that sometimes I still get nervous. But I think the confidence that comes from me now is having gone through the homeless journey, having gone through severe alcohol addiction and beating it, and being able to stand in what God has graced me with my talent, and not letting others dictate how I should move, or stay in corporate America when I didn't want to, and just realizing that there are many ways to skin a cat. Mm-hmm. They are. And the same grace that we give others who look nothing like us, we should afford that to ourselves. Mm-hmm. Right? And so not everybody has to have straight hair. Not everybody has to be Brazilian butt lift and skinny and six-pack abs. Not everybody needs that. And in fact, the way that God has created this world is that there's different varieties of everything. Why is that? Because variety really is the spice of life, right? And so if I came in like this, hi, I'm so glad to be here. And I sat at the back of I come to the front, I'll be like, Precious, you're sitting at the head of the table. Isn't that where I belong? This is your, I forgot we're in your business. Let me sit to the side of you. Just so it's clear that I'm walking in my own power. It's taken me 42 years to love myself enough to just be all in. And what I realized is even when I walk into these big companies, corporations, nonprofits, they're not expecting me to do the Jameer thing, because that's not how they met me. If you meet me on social media, I don't come across as, pick me, please pick me. I'm talking about, I think you need to get, I think they like me. I think they like me. So I think you should like me. I think you should book me. I think that's the way it should be. I know, listen, don't let me flex and get my network on here to tell you what time it is. I think they like me. And so I think it comes from God, and also realizing that no one holds the key to your life but him in you. And so it's going to require you to step out and do something, right? Even when there's no money, even when you feel alone. Sometimes the greatest things come out of that because you had to do it alone.
Yes, yes. Wow. That is amazing. And all of our entrepreneurs that are on the line today, I know they're thinking of, how do I, make payroll, or how do I gain more capital? How? And, resources. We have to be resourceful. We have to be mindful with our money, with our time.
Yep.
We have to outsource. Like, we can't do everything. We have to know when to, delegate and hire folks. So when it comes to pitching and just even preparing for a pitch, where do we get started?
First of all, let me just say this too, because I love this particular question. Everyone on here, go to pitchingforprofit.com right now. Queen, can you put that in the comments? www.pitchingforprofit.com. That is my free 6-question quiz. And it's called, What's Your Next Pitch Power Play? Most of us don't know how to get started. But this quiz, when you press submit, you answer the 6 questions, you press submit, it's going to tell you what your actual talent really is and how to play on that and create the right pitches for you, right? It's free, y'all. It's free. I promise it's free to take my 6-question quiz. So go to pitchingforprofit.com right now. And if you all take it while we talking, go forward, do that and tell me what the name it gives you, right? So the first thing about pitching that I think everybody should understand is you have to know your audience, right? And so a lot of us are going to be pitching to investors. A lot of us may be pitching to media. I got started in media. I didn't get started like how other people got started. And I wanted to go big, right? Because I felt like, man, if I wait on these other people to give me some shine, it's never going to happen. So I wanted to go for the biggest fish. People could have told me, you could have started local. I could have, but I didn't. So who is your audience, right? So if you're going to be pitching, are you pitching to people who are in love with like founder stories? Are they in love with the numbers? Are they a combination of them, right? Are you pitching for a pitch competition, an elevator pitch competition? Are you pitching to investors? Are you pitching to the media? Are you pitching to, what should you say, networking events to get people to actually say, yo, what's that contact information? Because I'm gonna holler at you. Because most of us, we go to networking events, even if it's virtual, most people I don't even pay attention to because they're boring to me and I can't deal with boring people. I cannot. Like I want you to come out your shell, even if you are, what is it called? Even if you are an introvert, I want you to be the quiet storm. Draw me in to you. Girl, have me like this. I know they're about to drop some tea, so let me be quiet. Number two, what is the challenge that your target market has? Honestly, what is it? Is it for HellaBlack? Was it people can list their companies at a whole lot of places and don't nobody call, don't nobody book, don't nobody do anything? That might have been what the problem is, right? There are people who want to buy Black-owned things, but they don't want to sit and look at a list all day. They want to list something juicy. So what is your target market's main challenge? Is it booking paid speaking engagements? Is it, finding something like the best teeth cleaner? I don't know. Whatever the challenge is, you have to acknowledge what the challenge is. It's not enough to just say, oh, I'm the killer pitch master, I'll help you with your pitches. Most people don't even understand. They're like, oh, but I'm not going on Shark Tank. No, But pitching is more than that. And there are multiple forms of pitching, right? So pitching, as we know, is a part of sales, but also if you're in an interview, you need to be pitching. If you're at a networking event, you need to be pitching. Oprah gets on the elevator with you. I need you to pitch. And don't give me that, oh, Oprah, you know, I love you. Nobody want to hear that. She know that. Give it to her. Give it to her. Right? So what is their challenge? And you have to speak to it in your pitch. Then number 3, you have to show how you are the best solution to solve their problem. Right? Too many of us will give the solution without addressing what the real problem is. And sometimes we think we know what the problem is, and your target market is like, that's not really what it is. Like with me, pitching. You know what people told me? I want to know how to speak publicly, speak well publicly. I want to have that confidence to be able to do it. Okay, so let me involve that is for speakers and entrepreneurs. There are people who want to speak. There are people who want to have that rock star confidence to go in and kick butt no matter what. I got you. I didn't know that before because I always had that. Okay, so number 4, I want you to drop some tea on them about your credentials. Like, why should I rock with you? You need to have 150 reasons why somebody should buy from you, book you, promote you, hire you, and everything. I'm not expecting y'all to all have it, right? 150 by yourself, but ask your network, why would they rock with you? Why would they buy from you? Why do they buy your books, your products, your services, your businesses, your brand? Why? So that when you come across objections, bam, hit them with it. Hit them with it. I can tell you I'm a 13-time national champion. I can tell you I've been on Shark Tank, CNN, Wall Street Journal. I can tell you that I'm a part of a new television show. I can tell you that I'm booked and blissful by some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies today, right? And if you can drop a testimonial in there, right? So there's a difference between a 30-second pitch and a 90-second pitch, right? But you have to give them a little flavor for who you are. There are a lot of graphic designers, a lot of florists, a lot of service-based entrepreneurs. Why you? And if it's a race to the bottom for price, good luck with that. Good luck. It doesn't work. Good luck with that. Finally, what's your call to action? Do you want them to buy your book? Do you want them to come to your website? Do you want them to book a session? Do you want them to do this and that? Tell them. Be very specific about what you want them to do. And I promise you, most of us forget the call to action, right? And if we're going to take it really, really into killer pitch master mode, what is your story? What can you talk about in like 3 or 4 sentences? What's your story? Like, what is your story? If you're allowed to, if you're given time to you know, tell what your story is, maximize that time, right? So listen to this. Ladies, raise your hands if you want to be a bad bitch with the power pitch. Fellas, I see you. Oh, you raise your hand too? I'm gonna get to you. Fellas, raise your hands if you want to be a bad man with a master pitching plan. All right. Well, you come to the right place. My name is Precious Williams. I'm the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. And they affectionately call me the killer pitch master because I'll help you slay all competition. You having a problem with sales? I can help you. Guaranteed. I'm a master, world-class master communicator, and can teach you the art and science as a killer elevator pitch, media pitch, investor pitch, speaker pitch, interview pitch, and sales pitch. I don't just do it for individuals. I also do it from some of the biggest companies in the world, like LinkedIn, Google, and Microsoft. Yes, I'm Black on both sides. Yes, my testimonials you can find on LinkedIn. I have over 160 on LinkedIn, and that's been in the last year and a half. If I can do that for big companies and successful speakers and entrepreneurs, imagine what I could do for you. Go to my website, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. You will see my services, my products, my books, and there's a way that I can help you. Please reach out again, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. And also, if you're a company, a corporation, or a nonprofit, check out my second website, killerpitchmaster.com. Again, my name is Precious Williams. I'm the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious, also known as a killer pitch master.
All right. That was so effortless.
Girl, if it's got to be effortful, then I'm not the killer pitch master. But also, Queen Natalie, you're speaking to a real point. At this level, it should sound effortless for me. If it sounds like it's arduous and I don't have a grasp on it, girl, that's the type of people like, I'm exiting stage left.
Believe me.
She's just talking a good game. Also, Queen, one of the things that I think is important, and we can talk about this, is how do you create your own lane, right? So it's part of your pitch, but like as a killer pitch master, what should I do? I should help you slay all competition. Why should somebody come to you? Like, what would be something that would stick in somebody's mind? If you slay all competition, oh, that's Precious. Oh, elevator pitch, media pitch, oh, Precious. She can do them all because she's had success in all of them. Her testimonials speak for herself. And then you can talk to her clients because they're doing it like that. So some of you may want to be speakers. Some of you may want to be, you know, just entrepreneurs. Your job is not to sound like everybody else. I promise you. Don't sound like everybody else. That's why I shop. That's why HellaBlack don't. HellaBlack. Can we give it up for HellaBlack? Because I'm like, I'm with all that. I'm with all of that. I'm not ashamed to be a Black woman. I'm not. And I'm not trying to be fit into anybody's mold. I don't play respectability politics. If I play respectability politics, I rather would be nowhere but in the house, just like, you know, I don't look the part, and you know, I don't look like an Instagram thotty, but I'm flued out like one. Okay. I am, this is me. And they love it because I really am in my zone of genius. It takes a while to get here. And just like with pitching, it's a process. You don't get a pitch immediately, right? And for those of you who wonder why would somebody, what is a pitch? A pitch is a short, brief way of introducing yourself to your target market so that you can bait, attract, and possibly close or get to the next level of conversation. So if you think about it like this, let's say you have somebody in your family who cooks really well. Might be your grandma, might be your mother, your father, might be your man or your woman. We don't know. Whoever cooks well, it's the holidays. You know you about to mob up. Go over to their house, food smelling good. You like, oh, it's about to go down. So you start putting food on your plate. Everybody got their food. Everybody says grace. You sit down. That big plate you have. I don't care if y'all vegan. Some people vegans eat big plates.
Yep.
That big plate is your book, your business, your brand, your product, your service. That's everything. That first fork you pick up, that's your pitch. Remember, a pitch is it's a juicy morsel, a taste meant to entice them. So you can't put everything in your pitch. I don't put in MasterCard and all the companies I've worked with. I don't put in, oh, I'm a speaker at the Yale Black in Business Conference. I like all of that is irrelevant. What is their problem? Speak to that. What is your solution? Drop some tea on them about your credentials. Don't drop it like it's hot on them. Make sure you have a powerful call to action. Why should they reach out to you? Do you offer coaching, group coaching, one-on-one coaching? Do you offer digital products? I mean, you need to entice them so that they ask more questions. The point of being in pitch competitions is not to answer every question that the person has. That's not what a pitch is supposed to do. It's supposed to elicit questions so you can what slay. You need to anticipate all these questions, right? When I went on Shark Tank, I know they thought they was gonna like wipe the floor with me. I'm like, I'm a 13-time national champion. Let's do this. Let's do this. And when Robert Herjavec said, watching you is like watching a master at their craft. Yo, there's some moments in our lives, and I wish I could exit that point. But you can only, it's all done in one take. So it's like a 45 minutes to an hour. But I'll never forget that. I'll never forget Mark Cuban saying, you go, girl, when my Full Figure Divas opened. I said, okay, ladies, now let's get information. That door opened and it came out. They were like, yo, I said, I'm tailor-made for television. So I don't come to do anything on some, I'm boring. I came in a low-cut canary yellow, peplum dress, and afro, and extreme makeup. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. I know what they was thinking. I said, oh, you think I'm about to do this? I'm about to bring the pain. I'm about to bring it. So if y'all were sharks, prepare. Mm-hmm. I need y'all to prepare for me because I already know how y'all get down.
So with some of your clients, what are some of the common mistakes that, like, what are some of the patterns of like the challenges that they're experiencing, focusing on their pitch, and what are some of the common mistakes of your clients?
So the most common mistakes, if I'm gonna keep it a buck, is they don't practice enough on their pitches. They're boring AF, or they think they have to be someone else. Mm-hmm. Like I've had clients try to be me. I'm like, no, that ain't what we're doing. You're not coming in like me. I want you, if you're gonna be the quiet storm, baby, draw me in to you. Make me fit. I want you to be like Tupac, all eyes on me. Like I was just in this Brooklyn Tea, it's a place on New Street here in Brooklyn, and they have this painting of Biggie, and I always look at him like, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, and I'm like, that's how life is. Like, it was all a dream. You all have dreams. You all want to sell. You all want to see your. It's kind of like a singer when you want to hear your song on the radio. You want to see people taking pictures with your things. You want to, and in order to do that, you have to create noise and buzz. So don't be out here. I gotta use everything, the proper English, and I've got to sound as conservative. No, bring the energy, bring it, HellaBlack. What we talking about? I'm like, HellaBlack. What? HellaBlack all day. All day. And I don't mean like in a sense that, oh, ghetto ratchet or whatever. Why can't HellaBlack just be all facets of blackness? Some of us can be sophisticated. Some of us can be sophisticated. Some of us can be in the middle and just be like, baby, it's the best of both worlds. You want you want a little bit of, you want some flavor, you want a little spice, I got you. So they're not bringing their authenticity and transparency. They're not bringing their perceived flaws. They want to dumb it down and hide it behind big words. And here's another thing. A lot of people will pitch with using these beautiful, long words that don't mean nothing. They don't. I said, it don't even sound good in a poem. I'm like, yeah, you educated. I'm with all of that. I said, but I need you to bring it down to base elements, like maybe even 9th grade, 6th grade. Because even as you're pitching to investors, there are other people in the room that can bless you in ways you never even dreamed of. I never thought when I started pitching that I would be on television shows. I never thought I'd be hosting events. I never thought I'd be flued out like Instagram thotty around the world. I never thought that when I tell you, I wish I could show. So I got clients that send me gifts. I don't ask for gifts. I don't ask for them. I never thought that I would win the better person from Better magazine, or that I win the Stevie Awards Maverick of the Year silver medalist, or that clients would send stuff like greatest coach ever. I got clients like, if I just even say, man, I'm hungry, there'll be food at my door. I promise you, I got crowns. So when I be feeling down, my Queen Tina Williams, which one's it gonna be? Which one's it gonna be? I got money trees. I got all sorts of stuff in this house. I got purses made for me, bags made for me. And I just look around, I see me on cover of magazines that are sent to me. I have someone who sent me a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You know, I look around and I'm like, it's only been less than 3 years. It's been less than 3 years. And so I want to encourage you all, this is a marathon and not a sprint. And sometimes we get caught up in comparison. And then I have to realize my clients love me so much because they get results. But not only that, their wildest dreams came true. And they're still coming true. And I'm just a part of their journey. I don't consider myself the sole reason for the success. I don't. I'm just a part of this journey. And I want to be here for them. I want to be an inspiration and a bright light. And again, y'all, the more you ask now for money from your network, or for them to, you know, contribute to your crowdfunding campaign, I want you all to make yourselves human. A lot of us as sisters and brothers, we want to be all superhuman and everything looks perfect. The minute I was at Viacom and I told Pam Coolness, program manager at Bottomless Closet, and I told the executives at Viacom that when I met Pam, she didn't know I was homeless. I was at the Tory Burch Embrace Ambition Summit. I was homeless, and I couldn't tell her that. I said, I wanted you to see me as a killer pitch master. Mm-hmm. Because if you didn't, you would, there, little black girl. And she said, no, let me tell you something. I'm 42 years old. But when I said I was a killer pitch master, you were interested. I pitched to you to see if I still had it. And I did. Not only did I speak at her organization, she brought me to Viacom, Saturday Night Live, J. Jill, and Style Magazine. Like, who does it? Who gets an influencer contract at 40?
Yeah.
Don't worry, Cat Williams, I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a celebrity, but here I am being paid by a lingerie company. That's not mine. My company ended in 2016. So yes, Queen, I'm sorry. I'll be quiet now.
No, this is great. This is wonderful. I mean, we have some good questions in the chat, and I definitely want to, you know, share that with you. So you said you won your first pitch competition. What is the process of one entering, winning, and did you like ask for money? Like, how does the ask for capital fit into the whole pitch competition process?
Okay, so so the pitch competitions that I entered, and remember, I pitched from 2011 to 2013. I'm not saying that things haven't changed, but when we were, pitching, it was always money on the line, always. So that was a given, right? So one of the things I learned in the process is that continue to ask for more. There are people in the room who can get you in front of people who can invest more. They can get you in front of media, which can bless your crowdfunding campaigns. There are people who will give you five on the black hand side, like got you. So the great thing about pitch competitions, right? Of course, most of them have applications. That's a pitch all in and of itself. So I want you to present yourself in the best light, period. When you are blessed to be a finalist, your job is for really to tune everything else out and just deliver your best, right? So you're probably like, what does that mean? My last competition, Black Enterprise, May 16, 2013. I remember telling Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, who was a professor, a business professor at Clark Atlanta University, he was sitting at the table. I said, I'm gonna win this pitch competition. He looked at me like, you know what I won? Fair and square. No diggity, no doubt. It was the night when Scandal was on. Yeah, remember when Scandal used to be the joint?
Yeah.
Don't play with me. Don't play. It was American Idol style. Anybody could vote around the world. So I had to win. I was number 3 in the competition. So in preparing for that pitch, of course, I had 60 seconds and then I had 30 seconds, right? So in the 60 seconds, there were 10 finalists from around the country. After the 60-second pitch, then it made it to 5. So I'm looking at this like, it's about to be a problem for some of y'all. It's about to be a problem. So when I walked to that microphone, I had 30 seconds. I took 23 seconds and was done, right? And walked back because I wasn't trying to hear what everybody else was doing. I wasn't talking to nobody. I just was in my zone. Like I listened to my theme songs. Y'all have theme songs. Bad by Michael Jackson. What? I'm in the subway in New York. Boy scared my horn. I'm like, y'all want to mess with me and London and Michael on the subway? Y'all ain't ready. Number 2, Moment for Life by Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
Which is, this very moment I'm king. In this very moment I slay Goliath with the sling. Think about that. So many things are your Goliath. Not having money, not having resources, not having connections. You know what? That's when we get creative in these streets. That's what HellaBlack is about. How many Black people have just had to get creative when they couldn't afford something? Don't worry, I'll wait. All of us have had to do it. All of us. I remember the fake Jodeci boots that were at Payless. I ain't want them, but I ain't want them. And that's probably why I would never go to Payless ever in life again, just because I remember the pro wings and stuff like that. But got creative. We could make our own, make something cute. Number 3, Eminem's Lose Yourself. When he gets into that third stanza, he says, Mama, I cannot grow old in Salem's lot. So here I go. It's my shot. Feet fail me not. This may be the only opportunity I got. And I look at it like that. This may be the only opportunity. So if my back is to the wall, I ain't got no money, no toilet paper, no food, ramen noodles, and still, I ain't even got ramen noodle money. I'm going so hard because I ain't got no choice. I got to go harder than anybody else. I'm hungry. And 4 was Diva by Beyonce, but I think I want to change that to Kanye West's Stronger, because I'm like, you know how long I've been on you since OJ had isotona. Like, listen, and I love when he said, you should be honored by my lateness, that I will even show up to this. So go ahead, go nuts, go. I'm like, yes. And treat yourself as the king and queen you are. You don't have to show up everywhere. I don't show up at $25 and $30 events anymore. Why? I want to meet with the gatekeeper. I'm sorry. I don't mean to meet with a gatekeeper. I want to meet with decision makers. So I need to be in certain places. I don't take every speaking engagement offered to me. If people come at me, it's got to be free from the beginning. No, I'm good. I don't have to. Unless I believe in it, I don't have to. Oh, but we offer you exposure. Exposure like what? Bigger than Shark Tank? Bigger than movies? Like, I just want to know, have you checked my background? Because if you have not even honored my background, we don't even have to talk. I'm not desperate and I don't need it. But I work to get here. So you also have theme songs, and honestly, confidence can wane at times, and I need you to face it, not fake it. He gave you a vision and a dream. It's up to you to honor that. So your back is against the wall. Ain't nobody buying it. What you got to change the game, man. You got to change up something. And you can listen to people who are on Twitter and everything, or you can listen to those who've been in the trenches with you. So I want you to see yourself as what's a gnat to a giant. You're gonna always have people who are spectators telling you what they would have done and ain't done nothing. Why are you listening to them? Why? If they haven't done it, what are we talking about? Well, I just want to protect you. That's great. I want to, what did Drake say? Everybody dies, but not everybody lives. I've lived this life now.
Good one.
And I need y'all to live. And I need y'all to be uncomfortable at times. I need y'all to be in circles that you're like, how the hell did I get here? But you know what I'm gonna enjoy? I'm gonna enjoy this crudité, this caviar. Might sneak some out while they ain't looking. Okay. You see when Rihanna woke up, she had caviar in bed. I said, show you right. Because I never thought I'd have caviar again after what I went through. But I have.
So speaking of your circle and your network, how did you build your network? Like individuals that'll invest, trust, make introductions, like have faith in you. How do you
Great question. And that's one of the things that in my third book, Pitching for Profit, that I really went ham and cheese on, right? So when it comes to really, I want you to build and rebuild your network, because a lot of us are around the same people all the time. Everybody's still doing the same thing they was doing last year. Y'all still bigging up the same gurus. Ain't nothing changed. Why am I here? So I went into spaces that people were shocked to see me in, right? Why would I be in tech? Do I have a tech-based company? No. Precious, you're a speaker. Shouldn't you be with speakers? No. I can be in some of those groups, but that's not my bread and butter. You need to go to places where there's not a lot of you. And that could be your age, your race, your class, your sex, all of that. Go to places where there's not a lot of you, because then you can use that to really stand out in a way that's actually tangible, right? And so I became a member of Ladies Who Leverage. I became a member of the Dames. I became a member of the C-Suite Network. So these were people who made so much more money than I did. I want to be pulled up. Baby, I don't want to be the brightest light. I want to be a flicker to somebody else's flame, right? So I'm learning. If I'm the brightest light, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right. And then learning from others. Okay. So I met, there was a woman, Deb Boulanger, looks nothing like me. She's a wonderful woman. I used to go to this event called EBW 2020. I didn't think I belonged, little chubby Black girl just trying to get in. And she and I spoke, and she said, what can I do for you? I said, I like speaking engagements, paid speaking engagements. She said, Precious, the way you pitch is amazing. She said, I'm gonna introduce you to somebody. So she introduced me to someone at a big financial services company. Talked to him because he was sponsoring the events, because we were, and I said, this is what I want to do. He said, yo, come to the office. I got somebody I want you to meet with. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I thought I was just coming, chop and screw. Walked in, and they had an entire big conference room with food catered. I was just kind of come through, I was just thinking low. And the man he introduced me was a Black executive there. And Tom left the room. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he said, tell me what's good. I said, okay. And I told him my story. I said, I want to speak. I want to do this. He was like, I got you. You don't know what to think about that, right? Because people say that,
Yeah.
He called me one day. He said, I need you to be at this event. It was called I Look Like an Investor. I know what that meant. I don't look like one. Got to this event in this very nondescript building. I almost didn't go in because I was like, walked in, girl. I said, oh, this is how the other half live. They try to play with the outside, look like the inside is popping. Walked in, and when I tell you, Essence, LinkedIn, VCs, and they were all Black women, all of them. I'm sitting here like this, and he says, you look nice. He said, I'm gonna ask all of them to pitch, and you're gonna go last. Bruh, man, I'm just coming out of homes. I'm just trying to, brother, can't spur down. So all of them were pitching, and they were all popping. It was all popping. And I'm sitting here like, my first book hadn't come out yet. And so they had the food, the drinks. I'm keeping it cool with water. I'm keeping it so cute and comfortable. Then the food started arriving. It was my turn to pitch. And the woman was like, oh, do you want to wait? I said, no, I'm the killer pitch master. I live for this. I'm always ready. I stood up and I started pitching. Like they were going for 5 minutes with them. I was done in like a minute and 10 seconds. I just want to give them a little taste. When I finished, the women were on their feet. Like, What was that? Sat down trying to compose myself. The lady across from me, executive at LinkedIn, she slid me her card. She said, I need you to speak at my conference. Other investors, VCs, as they were all talking to me, I'm sitting here like this, because I didn't believe I deserved it, right? I spoke at the event live at LinkedIn at the Empire State Building. I saw women who dissed me years ago there. And it was very jarring. And I hugged them, kept it cute. What did Maybach Yo say? We can keep it gangster, we can keep it cordial. How you want to go about it? I kept it cordial. I didn't realize she had me speaking by myself, no panel, no nothing. Minda Harts was there. Like, I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. When I took that stage, I had 10 of my books there, didn't know if I could sell them, but just want to put myself on display. When I told you I took that mic by storm, I did. And then it was getting towards the end and God said, give it to them raw. So I said, there are women out here. And that guy was there. The guy was telling me about the Black guy. He brought his daughter to watch me go ham and cheese. I said, some of y'all are watching all of us in our beautiful clothes and we all look good and we smell good. I said, and I'm telling you, I was just like y'all. I was homeless not that long ago. I was an addict not that long ago. But look at where God has me. I'm speaking at LinkedIn. And I want you to know that whether you got on Salvation Army clothes, whether you have no connections and no contacts, you can make it. And I'm living proof. I'm standing before people who didn't even like me. And I'm giving it to you, right? And it wasn't a dry in the house. And I ran out. And women ran after me. Took all my books. One woman paid me $100 for one of my books. I had people booking me for paid speaking engagements, and TV1 walked up, the big person at TV1 walked up to me. She said, we'd love to have you on TV1. I'm looking at her like, Jigga who?
Kathy Hughes, yeah.
Jigga what? And I had to walk away because I was so stunned. But you see how the network is, right? So there were people who didn't look like me who introduced me to people who looked like me. And I kept it going. In fact, the woman who had that event, I look like an investor, I spoke to her today. And I haven't spoken to her in almost a year and a half, right? And I told her everything that had happened. I shot a MasterCard commercial. I was doing this and then that. She's like, what? Da, da, da. And she said, Precious, how can I help you? I'm thinking, I couldn't even believe I was on the phone with her. I said, I would like to get into more companies and corporations. She said, hey, she said, I got contacts at these places. She said, send me a blurb and it's done. I said, well, I'd like for investors to invest in Pitch Please, the Ultimate Women's Power Pitch Summit. She said, okay, you got my number now. Let's get it. And she's a Black woman. I went to organizations that had women that didn't look like me. So I knew my personality would jar them, but it would also attract women who really want to be bad bitches, secretly wanted to be, and they just needed the permission. And I also just always came with my books and stuff like that. Why? You never know when a sale is going to be made. And you also never know who you may impress because you're always on point. So if I can say anything to you all tonight, go into spaces where you're not, where a lot of you aren't. And I don't mean just as far as race, I mean someone with your personality, someone with your skill sets. Don't hang around just the standard. I need you to go into spaces. There's no reason I should be in tech, financial services, or real estate. I'm not in those spaces, but I am in those spaces because I am a corporate trainer to those places. I get paid handsomely for being able to do what most people cannot do in those spaces, especially they say people who look like me. I'm like, there's so many of us. But if I'm gonna open the door, I'm gonna kick it down because I'm hella what? Black. So that's how I did it, Queen. And always ask, always make your big ask. If you're speaking somewhere, you can be a slide in the thing. Where do you want to speak at next? What kind of context do you want? Who's ready to make the warm introduction? Always ask for testimonials. Always ask, make sure it's on LinkedIn so people, you can be like, oh, bam, check out my testimonials. How many people you know that got close to 200 testimonials in a year and a half? I don't know anybody. So make sure that you update your LinkedIn consistently. So like once a month, just go in, and if there's things that change, if you need to upload a third book that came out or upload that you're speaking here and there, do that. People are watching. And so these are the little things that they don't teach you. And that's why I love being a killer pitch master. That's why when I speak, I try to add my books into the equation, because that's another revenue stream, and you never know who's going to read the book and put you on somewhere else. So make the big ass. How I got into Forbes the first time, was great, is because of We NYC and BE NYC through the mayor's office. We Women Entrepreneurs NYC, Black Entrepreneurs NYC. I'm a mentor, and especially chosen by the mayor's office. What did that do? It put me in the Wall Street Journal, all this other kind of stuff. And because I had that, I could go back to Forbes and say, hey, my third book is coming out. I went to my lady who wrote me the first time. She said, hey, I got somebody you can talk to. Talk to her. Now another article in Forbes, another billboard, another bestseller. You got to ask. You got to put yourself in a space that they don't expect you to be in, and kill it. Now, some of us are very prim and proper. If that's who you are, roll with it. But also, if a woman isn't like you, that's fine too. There's so many ways to be HellaBlack. We're not a monolith. We're not all eating caviar in the bedroom. Some of us are eating the ramen noodles until we can get to that caviar. So don't despise small beginnings, because I started very, very small. And I built my empire with every brick that was thrown at me.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for that. This was inspiring. And I hope the ladies on this call were inspired and had some key takeaways. So where can we find you? Where can we buy these books? And where can we attend any of your events? Where can we sign up for any of your classes?
Wait, let me drop it. I put something in the chat right now, but I'm going to go over it. Plus, I'm going to give some links, because I know we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, sorry. Just getting this link real quick. So everyone, just so we're clear, I've written 3 #1 best-selling books. So I'm gonna put the link if you want to get all 3 books in the chat. This is okay. So in a way to get in contact with me, I am Precious Williams, proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. You can go to my website, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. You can check out my products and services on the Work With Me page. You can see that I offer one-on-one coaching. I offer group coaching. I have digital products where you can learn on your own. So go to the Work With Me page. If you want to schedule a consultation with me, go to the schedule part, and schedule time on my calendar. I'm also on LinkedIn at Precious Williams Killer Pitch Master. On Twitter, I am at Perfect Pitch P. On Facebook, I am at Perfect Pitch P. On Instagram, I'm at Perfect Pitches P. On YouTube, Perfect Pitches by Precious is my YouTube channel. And also, if you want to get my triple threat book series, where you get all 3 of my books for a nice price, and I mailed them out myself, put a personal note in each one of them and signed them, and I will take it to the post office and send you the actual tracking, so I sent that. Okay. Finally, I have a Shopify store, so if any of you like stuff like this, like pitch please, because when people flex on you, pitch please, because I got this. What? So I have a Shopify store. You can check out my website, and you'll get the link to my Shopify store. Again, it's www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. And if you're a company, corporation, nonprofit, and you'd like to book me for a speaking engagement or for training, please go to my other website, killerpitchmaster.com. For those of you who would love to learn how to start pitching better, please take my free quiz at pitchingforprofit.com. And I think I've done it.
Yes, thank you so much. We adore you. First time we heard about you, we're like, we have to do this. We have to talk to Precious. We need to hear her story. We signed up for coaching. Y'all did that. And then we just want to share. We want to spread the word. I mean, the best promotion is word of mouth. So I hope the entrepreneurs on this call have taken some tips away. We have all your links, and we will share that with those that registered for the event. Again, thank you. And we look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Best of luck with everything you're working on.
Thank you all so very much. It's been an honor and a pleasure, because we stay what? HellaBlack.
HellaBlack, yes. Have a good evening.
Have a great night, everybody.
Yes, thank you, everyone.